On a bright, sunny afternoon, two little heroes bounced down the sidewalk, their colorful sweaters flapping in the breeze. This is Pip, the clever one in red, and Bounce, the spring-loaded dynamo in blue. Bounce, as usual, was living up to his name, ricocheting off a mailbox with a joyful yip. Bounce freedom, he cried. Pip, ever the strategist, looked around nervously. We are being extremely visible, he warned. Too late. A net whooshed down from nowhere, trapping them in its mesh. UHO, Bounce mumbled. A figure stepped out of the shadows. It was Dog Catcher Dan, looking official and holding a clipboard. Unattended puppies, he grumbled. Sweaters don't count as licenses. Pip gasped, his tiny heart sinking. Captured again. And so, our sweater-clad duo found themselves at the pound. It was clean and bright, but the rows of cages told a sad story. Pip, being the stealthy one, easily slipped through the bars of their cage. But he stopped short. Bounce, it's locked from the outside, he whispered, a note of defeat in his voice. Inside the cage, Bounce tried a hopeful hop but bonked his head on the low ceiling. No Bounce room, he sighed, plopping down. With a sad whimper, he added, I don't like captivity. Pip sat beside him, his expression turning from despair to determination. Then we wait, he said firmly. Someone always notices. And notice they did. Outside the pound, a kid walking by stopped and pointed, hey, those are the sweater puppies, he shouted. A woman nearby gasped in recognition. They helped me find my keys last week, she exclaimed. Another man nodded with a wry smile. They escaped my fence 3 times, he admitted, respectfully, of course. Soon, a small crowd started to form, each person with their own story about the 2 remarkable puppies. The rumor was spreading like wildfire. Pip and Bounce weren't just any stray puppies, they were part of the neighborhood. Before long, the small group had turned into a full-blown protest. People held up homemade signs that read free the sweaters, let them bounce, and justice for puppies. Then a chant began, soft at first, but growing louder and louder. Set them free, inside. The sound reached Pip and Bounce. Bounce's ears perked up. That sounds like cheering, he asked. Confused, a wide smile spread across Pip's face. He looked at his friend and said, that's community. The people they had helped, amused, and befriended were now here for them from his office. Dog Catcher then peered through the window at the chanting crowd. He had never seen anything like it. They do seem well loved, he muttered to himself, his gruff exterior starting to crack. He turned and looked at the 2 puppies in the cage. Bounce gave a small, hopeful bounce, his big eyes pleading. Pip, ever the gentleman, sat up straight and politely adjusted his red sweater. Dan let out a long, heavy sigh. He couldn't fight an entire town. All right, he grumbled, walking toward the cage. All right, he unlocked the door and swung it open. Freedom! The doors of the pound flew open, and Pip and Bounce dashed out into the sunshine. The crowd erupted in wild cheers. Bounce leaped into the air, spinning with pure joy. Free Bounce! He yelped. Pip, more reserved, took a moment to face the crowd and gave a dignified little bow. Thank you for noticing us, he said. Watching from the doorway, Dog Catcher Dan even cracked a smile, scratching the back of his head. Next time, try leashes, he suggested. The puppies looked at each other, puzzled. What's a leash? Bounce asked, and with that, they zoomed off down the street, leaving a laughing, cheering crowd behind them. But their adventures were far from over. Next time, the sweater puppies meet the mayor. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more adventures.